So it started all over again.
But it was not lucrative either for a long time, was
Oh,
it?
yeah, that's quite an understatement. You're right. Yeah. No, I would fill Tropicana bottles, the quart bottles, with pennies. This is kind of sad. And I would take the bottles at 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever, and I'd go to the corner grocery store on 9th Avenue and 43rd Street. I lived in Hell's Kitchen. And there was a store where all the prostitutes hung out in, this grocery store. And I would go into the grocery store with my Tropicana bottle, and I would empty the pennies on the counter, and I would get a can of Chef Boyardee. And that was my life. And I'd buy the can, count the pennies, and take home my pennies. Take home the can. So pathetic. And it didn't build character either. It's supposed to. It's supposed to. But it didn't work. I still had no character. Yeah.
And didn't you kind of resent the rich people, the people who had made it?
Couldn't understand how anybody could make money. I'd walk on the streets. I'd look at all these apartment buildings on Park Avenue and West End Avenue. I go, where are these people? How are they getting the money to live in there? What are they doing? How did they all have money? How are these people getting in cabs? Where did they get the money to get in a cab? I didn't know. It was a mystery to me.
Well, I know because there was a sense that when you became successful, some people thought, well, Larry won't be funny anymore because you kind of used that sense of resentment or despair or whatever.
Yeah, it fueled some hostility that I had, but you'd be surprised it was an easy transition.
Well, you mentioned about obviously New York, and you worked in New York, and God knows Seinfeld is the most New York show imaginable. But you've now done what I think is an interesting switch and made an L.A. show, and L.A. is funny. I mean, you've found the humor in L.A., which I think is harder. I guess that's my impression. But did you find that, or is it just as easy for you to come up with stuff to make fun of that place?
I'm not really consciously doing that. I feel like if I was in New York, the show would be exactly the same. Content-wise. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, there are things that are different, homes versus apartments, things like that. But yeah. I think the core of the show, though, it doesn't matter. It's more about human interaction, social intercourse, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to ask you what it is you think the show is about. Is it a lot of people would analyze it and say, well, you're observing society and you're commenting on it from the point of view of a guy who, has a irascible point of view or a misanthropic point of view.
I think really what it is, I think it's, I feel like we're all sort of split down the middle, good and bad, Good is not funny. Good is not funny. It's just not funny. But the bad thoughts are funny because they're unexpressed.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of letting these thoughts that go unexpressed, that we all have, all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, look at this mourner. What am I going to say to this mourner? Oh, Jesus Christ, I got to talk to the mourner now. I can't talk to mourners, I don't like talking to mourners, But we all got to go talk to that mourner. We don't want to.
Right.
We're afraid of the mourner, right?
Yes.
I'm so sorry, Yeah. And you feel like an idiot even saying it. You don't know how. You don't know how to behave. Anyway, we all have these thoughts. That's just one little thing.
Yeah.
But there's thousands of those that we all deal with all the time. And so it's being able to get that bad side, that funny bad side out. And that's why people really can relate to it, because it comes from a place inside that somebody else is expressing, I think, and that we're relating to on that level. And I think that's why people like it.
Yeah, because all of us think, well, I'd like to be able to argue with this guy the way he's doing it.
Right. Or bring up the things that we're thinking about.
Right. Like, if some guy's annoying you in the show, you tell him he's annoying you,
right.
For example.
Yeah.
And most of us are too polite, I guess, to do that.
Of course we're too polite. When I was out to dinner, and I said to the guy, thanks very much for the dinner, and the woman said, aren't you going to thank me? Oh, of course, thank you too,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as I left the restaurant, don't thank woman for dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
In the Notebook.
In the Notebook, don't thank woman.
In the Notebook.
Yeah. So on the show, I don't thank the woman. Yeah. In life, oh, thanks so much,
Were you ever whistling Wagner, by any chance? If that someone hurt you?
No, but I know how much Jews hate Wagner, and I thought I could...
Have you thought about, does it ever give you any pause to think about sort of the cultural impact you have had?
No,
You don't think about that at all?
never. Yeah.
So I don't think this is the show you wrote, but I was at church on Christmas Eve, right? And the priest is giving this very serious talk, and in the middle he says, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm thinking, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And no one batted an eye. Of course, we all have heard that announced. And there's so many of those. I mean, Seinfeld must have 20 catchphrases that have sort of entered the language. And I don't know how many you personally
Well,
wrote, but...
first of all, never once did I ever sit down thinking, got to come up with a catchphrase. Never.
Not even master of domain?
No, no, just only because it was funny that I used it.
And a good euphemism.
Yeah,
Yes.
a good euphemism, which we needed
In that show, yes.
Yeah, so no, I didn't write Master of Your Domain so people would go around saying, you're Master of Your Domain.
Yeah.
And if I read a script by one of the other writers where I thought that they were trying to inject, a little catchphrase, I would take it out. I wouldn't use it. So they were all organic to whatever the show was.
But if you hear them in general use now, do you say to yourself, wow, not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, people will say that routinely. I mean, it's like routine now.
I said it myself.
You just did it the other day in the column,
right,
yeah. So it's like this thing that's transferred into the culture.
Yeah. Well, that was a particularly good one. Not that there's anything.
That's very... Did you write that one?
Yeah. Well,
you had a hand in it.
It's a controversial subject. So
I should have known, but no. It just strikes me that as you were stand-up, you did all, and then you became a writer. You didn't really think of being a sitcom writer before.
No, never once did I think about it.
It just happened this way organically.
It happened because of my relationship with Jerry. We were both comedians, and he was getting popular. From his Letterman and Tonight Show appearances, and NBC wanted to do a show with him.
Right.
And then he approached me at Catch a Rising